feeling like I'm Akademiks. Can't ride away.
Someone said, why is he happy? Well, listen, also, you got to realize, man, nothing ever goes well when you're taunting the people. If you're taunting people who are shooting at you, that never goes well. All right. All right. What else is going on? All right. I think this is kind of interesting. So Takeoff. So Takeoff passed away, I believe, a year ago, right? And someone is trying to like file a lawsuit against him, claiming he sexually assaulted her at a house party back in 2020. Okay? Now, what supposedly happened is that, the police cleared Takeoff. They said, yo, we there's nothing we could charge you on. There ain't no proof that you did anything to this woman, or there's no proof that you did whatever. So he was never arrested in none of the situation, and he's never been charged. However, we live in America, so anybody can sue for anything. And the woman sued back then because, obviously these days it's a nuclear accusation when people talk about sexual assault. Obviously, we see Diddy going through it, right? So they sued Takeoff back then, and obviously Takeoff at the time is probably like, yo, we're not going to pay up, right? Or they're probably going to go through litigation. And since he died, they're now suing his family. Now, I see a lot of people overreacting to this. They're not actually, because his mom now controls his estate, they're not actually suing his mother, right? They're not actually suing his mother. They're suing his estate which his mother admins. So his mother controls his estate, so they're still suing the estate. His mom has to get a lawyer to defend that, which, by the way, it's kind of scummy, but here's the thing about it, too. Takeoff isn't around, so I don't even know what defense they could have, like, to try to, at least if Takeoff was here, or maybe he spoke with a lawyer about this already, so maybe they already know what defense they should have. But again, they're saying that he sexually assaulted her in a house party back in 2020. It's saying that he made several advances to her on the evening of the alleged assault, and she rejected all of them, and that she claims that when going into a bedroom to lay down, he ignored her disinterest, followed her into the room, and quote-unquote forced himself on her and engaged in sexual intercourse. So that's what being alleged. And they're saying in a bid to proceed with the suit, Jane Doe is asking to force Takeoff's mom to be listed as a defendant, given that she's an acting administrator of the estate in a Georgia probate court, right? Now, again, I think this is kind of scummy. Takeoff is dead, but people always gonna like try to go get money off of people who clearly, were rich. Who Takeoff was rich, clearly got money, and the woman probably don't give a fuck that he died. Now, here's what might happen, and I'm just trying to play out random scenarios. Takeoff isn't an active musician. His brand is already kind of memorialized already because he died. If his mom paid a settlement, it's probably just to get this shit off of their pallet or their table. Or perhaps his mom might take it personal and say, we're not paying shit. We're going to get our lawyers, and I'd rather spend a lot of his money to defend his legacy. Because you never, with things like this, you don't want somebody having to say, yo, well, Takeoff, well, criminally, he was never charged or whatever, but he paid out civilly for someone who claims he's sexually. So, what I mean? I'm pretty sure his mom is going to fight it, just for his legacy's sake. Because, again, they'll take a civil thing, right? Like, even that situation with Donald Trump, where they said Donald Trump paid a woman off, right? It's not a criminal thing. And by the way, it was one of his side chicks who were running her mouth or some shit. He paid her off, but they act like he's guilty of a crime. So I hope Takeoff mom, don't just succumb to like whoever this person is who wants to get a quick bag. And I hope they fight it, and obviously if he didn't do anything, hopefully the case is resolved with like, it being dismissed or something, right? Somebody says, man, you can't even die in peace with these bitches. That's a fact. That's a fact, man. I think people are looking at, and by the way, we had heard about this case. We had heard about this case when he died because some very unscrupulous, like down low, dirty news outlets, when they reported his death, they brought it up saying, oh, hey, he was a subject of an investigation, but he was never charged. You know what I mean? So it's like, why are you even throwing this in the mix? Like, the nigga was never charged. Like, he died an innocent man of everything in life, right? Like, why would you try to even make him look weird like that? But again, this is the era where I think people are trying to drum up these charges or drum up these accusations because shit, they can get a bag off it. Here we go. Sean Satera, he's pretty thorough. Let me read some of what he says. It's from My News LA. Okay, here we go. Oh, we read this before. Okay, it's not much. Okay, so yeah, here we go. The plaintiff, identified as Jane Doe, claimed that it happened in 2020 at a party. They said that he stalked her during the party before following her into a bedroom where he took advantage of her. And said Takeoff strongly denied the allegations at the time, and the rapper was never criminally charged over the incident. The LA County District Office reportedly cited insufficient evidence as the reason to not proceed with the prosecution. And what that means for all intents and purposes is that, bruh, if you can't prove the nigga did it, we're not going to assume the nigga did it. The fuck? Like, you know what I mean? But of course, she's trying to get her bag, and yeah. Unfortunately, we live in a society where it's even a dead man. Like, these days, I honestly believe that if somebody of notoriety that has some shit died as they were bleeding out, people will go through their pockets. Like, people, like, it's money over everything. Money over morals. Money over, self-respect. Money over everything. So, who knows, man? Who knows? God rest the soul of Takeoff, by the way. Okay, let's see what else.